Hey guys, welcome back to Brown Syndrome. My name is Yuvansh Roya.
Hi guys, it's Mehak.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Arth, and for episode 2, me and Yuvansh were having a conversation the other day, and we had a difference of opinion, and we were thinking if it would be an interesting thing to talk about. So, for the second episode, we decided to talk about if life has a purpose. So, I'm sorry, Mehak, what do you think about your opinion on if life has a purpose or not?
Cool.
Okay, so I definitely think that there is a purpose to life. I mean, I don't think that we were put on this earth for nothing. But I also think that you may feel like that if you haven't found anything. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you'll only find the purpose of your life like at some
Individually.
point in your life. Yeah, I feel like it's very individual. So at least like I feel like it's something that allows you to survive, like something that motivates you, maybe something that you look forward to. But like I feel like it
Yeah.
can change also. Like it has that you don't have to have like one purpose in life. So
Yeah,
that's
but
what
I like my question here to you is like, are you talking about an overall thing? Like we were put here on earth to change something in the universe, or like a much bigger purpose of our existence, or are you only talking about individual purpose just to move on with the time span of humanity?
no, I'm talking about like individually. Like I think individually I think even overall there is definitely a purpose, but I don't know what it is. Like
Yeah, we haven't
beyond
found
my
that
knowledge.
purpose.
Yeah. But I definitely think there is a reason because even
Mhm.
like the last episode I spoke about how I believe that everything happens for a reason. So again, like I
Yeah.
think that applies here. What about you, Arth?
I think Yuvansh should go first since he has a counter perspective, so we can hear both sides of the story then.
I don't really like. I don't know. I it's kind of weird with what Mehak said because I kind of agree with what she said, and halfway I agree and halfway I disagree. Because she's saying that you find an individual meaning and you give your life a purpose, your own personal life, by doing things that you love and studying and getting a job and getting a family, whatever, you know. And that's like the socially accepted way of like giving meaning to your life, and I accept that. Like I accept that social meaning of life and all that stuff. But when you're talking about this life of meaning in a bigger picture, like we were put here for some reason to change something in the existence of the universe and whatever. I feel like no. I feel like we were just fucking lucky to be put on this earth, and there is no meaning, and or the only thing that you can get meaning from is the little things that survive, like that are around you in your life. And yeah, that's basically it. Like Max said, you give individual meaning, like you define what you're going to do in your life, and there's not a bigger picture that gives you an individual meaning. It's something that you give yourself, and we're lucky to have that consciousness and self-awareness to actually give a meaning and a different meaning with it every different person. So yeah, I think that sums it up for now at least.
All right. You know, uh, I mean, I agree mostly with Mehak. Actually,
Hmm.
entirely, I do firmly believe that, even after taking into all the possible things into consideration, first, the Earth not lasting past a few centuries because of climate change, or eventually uh, the sun consuming the solar system, and even if we make it out of the solar system,
Yeah.
the eventual heat death, you know, of the universe. I feel to not accept this golden opportunity that we've been given in its entirety, and to think that no matter what I do, good or bad, eventually everything I do has no consequence is a little glass half empty for me. But
Yeah.
that's just me. But I was thinking, I was reading actually, I heard it from you also, and I read
Mm.
across that uh, some people deal with their um, mental, what do you call it, mental health and
Mm.
depression in a way where they think that since their life consequences have no meaning, they can
Yeah.
deal with it in a non-scientific way. And you know what, if that keeps them happy and if that keeps them going, then you know I am no one to argue meaning into their lives.
Yeah, of
So
course.
I feel, which again stands with the fact that you know the fact that both of you all spoke about you should do what you appreciate, about finding your meaning in life and doing what you love. But I feel like that's been preached now for forever and a day now. um, we've heard across it, we've heard about it so much, and so the fact that people think that my consequences may not matter, and if that keeps them going in life, then I'm totally cool with it. I don't have to enforce meaning into their lives. I mean, that's what keeps me going, and if that's what keeps them going, I'm totally cool with it.
Like, I have a question for the both of you. Do you believe like your life on Earth right now is your only shot at it, or do you believe there is something beyond it?
What do you
Yeah,
mean? Are you talking about afterlife?
Yeah, because once you say that I have an afterlife, that you have one shot over here and one shot in an afterlife and whatever, and reincarnation, whatever the fuck. I don't want to get too deep in that because that is not really pertaining to the topic. But do you believe that this is your only shot at life?
I mean, as much as I would like to believe that there is something after this, I don't want to fully depend on that. So I think I want
Yeah.
to focus on right now, ki jitna I can do, like I should just
Hmm.
focus on that, because right now my life is in my control to some extent
Yeah.
at least. And so I want to
Yeah.
focus on that. If I start thinking, ki, I'll do what I can now and then I'll finish it off in my next life, like it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So you can't base it off of that. So I think I want to
Hmm.
focus on right now. So even when it comes to like future, I'm not the kind of person who like thinks about my future, who plans like 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line also. As a matter of fact, I talk about now.
Arth is that person. Arth is
Yeah,
definitely that
I was
person.
just about to say that. I was when she's
He's
going to finish.
I know his fucking goal plans for 20 years down the line, and he told me that in fifth grade. So I know, and I know, like, he's like the person
Okay,
who
let
just
her go. Let her
plans.
finish. Let her finish.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
That's all. Like that's what. Like I can't talk about like 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line. Like things just happen. I mean, obviously that's also a bad thing in some ways because
Yeah,
like there's a lot of uncertainty which I hate. Like when people
yeah,
ask
of
me what do
course.
you want to do later, I didn't know what I wanted to do like career wise until like a month ago.
I still don't know. I feel like I'm
And
still
that
confused.
I feel like that's fine. Like when it came
Yeah,
to like talking about my colleges, like 11th and 12th also, I didn't know what I wanted to do until the end. During my boards, I was just like, okay, you know what, let's just go with this. Like I always end up going with the flow, like with
uh,
everybody else, because my mom is like, sab kar rahe hain, to tum bhi karo, you know? So that at least I'm
yeah.
not like nowhere. But then I never end up doing what everybody else is doing. So I feel like it's always been like that for me, just finding my own path, like
Hmm.
with my own pace. So that's what I feel. What about you guys?
Arth, you want to go first?
I am pretty much going to second whatever she says. There's nothing really to add except for the fact that I think planning
I
in
also
future.
agree. I agree with what Mehek says about finding your own purpose and having control of your life. And I feel like I need to have this tiny control over my life and do good or bad actions or whatever. But I feel like in the bigger picture, whatever I do has no effect on anything. Like even the social construct of a good or bad moral, it is a moral that we've created to justify every little thing we do.
Hmm.
So I feel like good and bad, they're just social constructs that don't matter in the bigger picture of the universe. And and basically life and all that shit. But it's like, but that's the thing, like good and bad, even though it's social constructs, it's important. And it's when you're talking about like a personal person, sorry, a personal opinion. In your opinion, this one action that I do might be good or a bad thing, but like we give our life purpose by these concepts of good and bad and happiness and sadness and all
Obviously,
that
it's
shit.
very
And
subjective.
yeah, it's really subjective. And when you're talking about it not subjectively, when you're talking about a universal good thing or a universal bad thing, there is nothing like that because it doesn't matter universally. Nobody gives a fuck about it. Like nobody. When I'm not talking about nobody, I'm not saying humanity. I'm talking about in general everything outside of us. And that is, it sounds like a negative opinion to everything in the life and a negative outlook to it, but I feel like I have taken that negativity and turned it into something positive by allowing myself to find myself, to give myself a purpose, considering that I feel like life has no purpose, so I give it purpose. So in hindsight, I do kind of agree with what Mehak said, but she says that the only thing I don't exactly agree with is that she said that life has a meaning. We're all here for some reason. And I feel like no, like we give ourselves our own reason. We've not been put here for some reason, and we give ourselves the reason for our existence. So yeah,
What
what
about
about you?
you? Hmm.
I just said I have to second everything. If I were to counter Yuanch, the only thing is, uh,
Mhm.
would you, objectively speaking, would you advocate what you believe that everyone else should also believe that? And this is in no way, for everybody listening, this question is in no way him trying to enforce his opinion. This is
No,
just
of course
purely
not. Of course
objective.
not.
And this is just me being curious about the fact that if he thinks that everybody should have such a
Like
perspective.
whoever's listening to this, if any kind of philosophy, or if you, whatever meaning that you have, it works for you and it's keeping you happy and you're moving on with life with that, fair enough. Who am I to fucking stand in the way of your happiness and say like, no, this is wrong, follow my thing? No, of course not. I
But
can't do
but do
that.
you think, as I said, objectively speaking
Yeah.
only, do
Hmm.
you think everybody should follow what you follow?
See, I feel like no, because I believe that half of my opinion on the entire life having a meaning and me giving myself a meaning is, it's kind of negative. It's kind of saying that I don't have hope in humanity's existence. It's kind of negative, and but I would love, I would, I would love the fact that, oh, tomorrow we find a complete objective purpose of our humanity, of humanity's existence and all of that. But I strongly fucking believe that we will never find that purpose.
Okay, which is why the question was, ki, why then what separates you from following this and everybody else not following this?
What separates me is that, like Mehak, I'm gonna go back to what Mehak said and you said, that because you both agree with each other, is that y'all believe that y'all are on this earth for a purpose, that all of humanity and all of life on earth has been put for a reason.
No,
I
this is not
believe that,
what we spoke. This is not what we spoke about at all. We
no,
spoke
y'all say
about
that,
an
y'all say
individual.
that we give you said individual meaning. I understand that, but Mehak didn't Mehak say that no, I believe that we've been put on this earth for a reason and we're not just here to live.
I'm not
We've
sure
been
what it
given,
is yet, but I definitely do believe that there is a
yeah.
reason all of this is happening. Yeah.
The thing that differs, like the opinion that differs from me and Mehak, is that I believe that we don't have a reason to be put on earth
Overall, you mean?
overall, in the
Yeah.
bigger, much bigger picture,
Mm-hmm.
in the concept of time, and the small, not the small, yeah, actually small amount of time that humanity has in comparison to the entire
But okay,
existence of
if
the
I were to,
universe.
I'm sorry to interject again, but
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
what makes you think that humanity on Earth may come to an end? Obviously, that's already been proven. But what makes you think that gives you so much surety in the fact that humanity will not move to another planet or another solar system? I mean, it's clearly not in the eventual future. That is, in the
But
concept of in the relativity of
mhm,
time that we live in now, there's still a considerable amount of time before
mhm,
we'll have to face the consequences of the sun blowing up. So,
yeah,
in that span of time, what gives you so much surety, or
yeah.
why do you have such a negative influence on yourself where you believe that no, we will not find a way to move past this solar system or into, you know, another planet or find resources enough to uh, make humanity survive longer?
I feel like what
But
Earth is perceiving as negative,
yeah, it's
like
not.
I feel like
I
you are just taking it in a more positive
I'm taking
way.
it in an optimistic way.
Like
I'm
because
saying
No,
that,
no, no.
yeah.
Again, no. This is not. I'm not.
Can I
I don't think
interject here?
you all understood me. This is not a question of him believing life to be meaningless, which is why you take it in a positive way, and him believing that all his bad actions do not have any influence. He should not rot on his brain and suffer his time over here. That's not what my question was. Him
Yeah,
questioning that ultimately the short amount of I was only questioning him being so sure about the short amount of time that
yeah,
he
okay.
repetitively said that the short amount of time compared to the universe, the short amount of humanity that we have is not inconsequential. I'm only talking about humanity as the global picture.
See, I don't know when all of humanity will be wiped out of existence. I cannot for sure say that. But I can say that even though we go on for fucking another 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years, that is nothing in comparison to the entire time existence of the entire universe. That is nothing. It is like 5 6 seconds when you put it in a fucking clock. So it's like you're trying to say that those seconds will have a huge fucking impact on the entire
See,
thing.
again, you didn't
Okay,
I think
sorry, I think I
couldn't fully
misunderstood.
comprehend my
Bolo.
question. What I never said that. That's what I said, that what makes you think that humanity is only going to last for another 3,000-4,000 years? This is what I said. That what gives you so much surety in the fact that we will
Because
not find a way. We'll not find a way. It's not been proven. There's no scientific fact on it.
yeah,
That, there's scientific fact on the Earth coming to an end and the sun blowing up, but there's no
but
surety
humanity
that
not.
the Earth, but humanity not making it past these obstacles. I mean, that's what I said. The relative in the concept of time that we live in now, it's the relative. In relativity, we have so much time left to where we'll have to come across these obstacles. What makes you think that we'll not be able to find solutions to these?
What makes me think is that because we're insignificant to anything, that is why even if we do exist for all of the universe of all of universe's existence, and we're still here till the entire fucking reality and universe blows up and the concept of time space falls and all that shit, I still believe that we're so tiny and insignificant that even if we do, like I said, I don't know when we'll go. Like, I'm not talking about 3000, I'm talking about we might live for forever for the existence of the universe, but I still believe that we will not have any impact on it. I'm not saying that apna khatam hi ho jayega pura, all of it will be over. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when the universe ends, or when the entire concept of reality, time, space, dimensions, it just goes through the fucking roof and it doesn't exist anymore. It's all gone, wiped out. Nothing matters then. All of this stuff, a table, my life, my job, all of this in the bigger picture doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
So I
So
think
I'm not
I
saying,
would like to introduce the concept of nihilism. So is that what you're
yeah.
saying, that life has no fundamental meaning?
No, I really honestly believe that life has no fundamental meaning. I believe that y'all believe that y'all can find that meaning somewhere down the line. I believe that we will not find that meaning.
Hmm.
And so basically, nihilism is basically rejecting all the ideas of morals, culture, society, law, all this stuff that we've created, the concept of countries, the concept of getting
Yeah.
a job, all of that. My nihilism basically says that, hey, all this shit that we've created over here,
Hmm.
it's not important. Because in the bigger scheme of the universe, of how time works and how it's a cycle of creation and destruction, I believe that all of this will be moot, will not be applicable to anything in the entire fucking universe. So that is basically what nihilism is saying, and that nihilism usually leaves a person with a feeling of despair and negativity. That, okay, life has no meaning, all of this shit, it doesn't give a fuck what I'm doing, so I might as well just die right now. It leaves like a despair that, okay, what the
It's
fuck am I
flawed.
doing?
It's
Yeah,
flawed.
it's flawed because
Nihilism in that way is flawed.
society cannot function on nihilism. All of the things, all of the values that we've created over a massive amount of time, over 2000, 3000 years, all the laws and rights and civilizations have grown and all that shit. We cannot function on nihilism objectively, considering that nihilism can lead to society crumbling. As soon as the entire world says that, the entire humanity says that,
Okay, understood what you're trying to say.
uh,
So what is it that you
see, I believe that you can add an optimistic spin to it, and this is a fairly new concept. So I really don't know more than the audience, or you don't know more than me. It's something that I believe in, something that has helped me move on. It's something called optimistic nihilism or nihilism. It's a type of nihilism because there are like a lot of types of nihilism, and this comes
Okay,
into
one sec before I continue. I'm sorry to interrupt. Optimistic nihilism it was introduced by a YouTube channel in Germany.
yeah,
It's called Kulshad. We'll leave the link in the description for anybody that fancies to listen to it. Go ahead.
yeah. So basically, like I explained to you all, the first uh, part of nihilism, of how all of this in the bigger picture, in the bigger scheme, it doesn't matter. But optimistic nihilism says that, hey, because it doesn't matter and you only have one shot at life and one opportunity, you might as well do what happy. And this revolves heavily around something called intrinsic value. I don't want to sound too technical. I want to let it be on the most philosophical thing. It's something called intrinsic value. It's something that in which you give something value, and like for example, some for your happiness, it has intrinsic value. Like, okay, I have money. That money is an instrumental value, but that money allows me happiness. So that happiness is intrinsic value. Happiness, relationships, experience, wisdom. So you assign that intrinsic value to a lot of things in life, and you dictate your purpose because the universe and the life has no meaning.
See, as much as I would like to agree with that you dictate
Hmm.
your purpose, because see, I believe that it is that I would like to
Yeah.
find my purpose in life at one point, and that it changes for everybody. Again, not everybody has a privilege to do that, like do what makes you happy. You have one shot. Like, if you talk about somebody from the underprivileged uh,
Yeah.
class of society, or somebody, like, for just talk about our maids, for example. Okay, I don't think this is the life they dream of. I don't think this is what they aspire to be, and I feel really bad sometimes because we can talk about all this and say that we have one shot of life. Come on, let's just do whatever makes us happy. You think sitting and working 24 hours, 7 days a week, just for like a certain sum of money,
Yeah.
which is your instrumental value to get whatever
Mhm.
happiness, it doesn't even give them happiness. They just give it back to their family because their family is in need for that. So
Yeah,
I
but
feel like
that's
this
what gives them happiness. That's what the well-being
but
of their
as much as
family
they
and
would
the
like
health
to
of
be
their family.
happy, no, but how do you know they would like to spend it on themselves? They would like to go to like 5-star hotels, like
Yeah,
we.
but like you said, like I said, there's certain societal restrictions to it. Because of course, I can't follow this philosophy purely because there are so many restrictions on it. But when you're thinking about it in an overall picture, when you're saying that the maid can't go to the movies or whatever, or a person in the lower class can't spend that money on himself, he's spending it for his family, a family that he cares for, a family that he or she cares for,
Yeah, but that's not his only source
and
of
by
happiness, right?
yeah, but
Okay,
of
quick.
course
Again,
not.
this is
But
okay. One second before
in
this.
the
This
bigger
question is
picture, it
again.
gives us
We're
happiness.
already talking about the same thing. Is this getting repetitive?
Yeah.
I have a quick question for Yuvansh. Is superficially both me and Mehak and you, even though we may seem on different sides, talk about the same thing that you should do what
Makes you happy.
makes at least try to do whatever makes you feel happy, right? That's
Yeah.
not something that any of us are
No,
debating.
yeah, that is there, but you can't just say that line and let it be in its own.
No,
You
no,
can
that's
just
why
give
I
it
said
its own. It
that's
has
why
a
I said do as much as you can to make yourself feel happy. I never said do
yeah.
whatever makes
Sorry.
you feel
Yeah.
happy.
Okay.
So
That's a
Okay.
better line.
Ivanshu, do you believe that life, for you to be happy, do you think that you should just disregard all the morals and values of
No, because
life?
that morals and values and give me
He
happiness.
never said. He actually said also that they're important to society.
Yeah,
It gives me happiness.
Okay, so
The morality
why?
of a
Okay,
social
so
construct of being good gives me happiness. The morality of helping somebody else gives me happiness.
okay, so my question is, so even though superficially we agree on the same aspects of
Hmm.
happiness in a sense,
Yeah.
um, so fundamentally we are living giving the similar meanings to our life. I mean, purpose or whatever you want to call,
Yeah.
optimistic nihilism calls it. So then, what? It's a very objective question. Why do optimistic nihilists gain happiness from the fact that the universe has no meaning? Because in the end, y'all are not living very different lives from us. You're also adding happiness. We
Hmm.
may add it under the cloud of the life having meaning. Y'all may live under the cloud of life not having meaning, but all of us still end up doing as much as we can to make us feel happy.
Yeah.
So what gives you the additional happy? Why does the fact that the universe not have meaning give you an additional happiness?
Okay, I'll give you an example that I feel like, and this helped me with my mental health also, is that 1.5 months ago that I put myself in an unfavorable situation, a situation that I didn't like. And for 1 week, I was down in the dumps. But I realized that, hey, I have only one shot at life. The universe has no meaning. I don't want to spend this more time being sad. And that differentiation of, hey, why spend time being sad? Why spend time dwelling over things in the past when I can just do what I'm doing right now, live in the present, and try and think of my future and give my brain the necessary dosage of dopamine and oxytocin and whatever.
Absolutely,
Life is.
absolutely. But then one
Yeah,
second, Mehak, I'm sorry to stop you again.
yeah.
But then if you see, this is again being spoken about for very long now, that you should not dwell on your
Yes.
failures and you should look towards the future. That's not exactly. This is what my question was. Ki, why? Because it's not something that is unknown to us, right? That we
Yeah.
should. Everybody tells us, your parents, your therapists, your teachers, that you should not dwell on your failures. You should,
Yeah, but what they
learn
don't
from them.
mention is that because life has no meaning, what the only thing that separates this philosophy from what everything else you've been hearing, that don't dwell on your past, don't dwell on this, all that, it's time that's gone. The only thing that differentiates is that they never mention that, hey, all of this is not going to matter.
Exactly, which is my question. Why do we have to think in the same? whatever you have
Uh,
professed to yourself to keep yourself
yeah,
happy is
yeah.
something that's already out. It's not something unique to our your holes. It's something that everybody's
So
already
I'm
heard
not
of.
say when did
So
I say it's unique? I just said the
I'm never
philosophy of
again.
See,
I'm
see,
never
I
questioning
think
your philosophy.
the whole universe, like in terms of the whole universe, taking that whole thing into consideration. Because then, why do we do anything if it doesn't matter to the universe? Because it doesn't. We do something because it makes us happy. We do something to move
Yeah,
forward.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm saying.
there's
I'm
a
agreeing
question
with
on the
you.
universe that I don't understand. That's why, like, what you are saying, that
Yeah.
the main difference between the two theories is that the second one talks about how life has no proven fundamental meaning.
Just that one sentence.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
doesn't make
That's
any
exactly what I'm talking
sense.
with
Same
Meg.
thing.
Absolutely. Go
Hmm.
Yeah,
ahead.
so it's the same thing when you talk about like I'm gonna shower
Hmm.
today. Do you not shower because it's not gonna impact the universe? No, you do it because it's a part of life, because you have to do
Yeah.
it. So you
So that's what I'm saying. Those social constructs give me happiness. Being clean, getting a shower makes me happy. So I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to.
but then again, then you believe that you do whatever you want because the universe does not have a meaning.
Yeah, but nobody's forcing me to take a shower. I'm doing it on my own terms.
But you would do
Again,
that
so for
irrespective of whether it mattered to the universe or
I've
not.
accepted. So I'm saying that I've my exception, my me accepting social values and morals and social constructs of doing a shower, getting with your daily work, doing a shower, cleaning the plates, brushing your teeth. I've accepted the societal values because I feel like without those I cannot function. But at the same time, I feel like the societal values in the bigger picture. When I say that I cannot function, I'm talking about an individual thing.
Hmm.
It is an individual thing that I we share, that hey, we take the shower and all this, and we've accepted these terms, and I have accepted these terms. But so I give my individual day-to-day life on a daily basis some meaning, that okay, my meaning for today is getting up, taking a shower, doing some work, doing this podcast with you all. That is my meaning.
again,
But
Yuvansh, again,
but when I'm talking about,
you're
well, let me
again.
finish, and but here at the same time, what I'm saying is that the only difference between this optimistic nihilism and nihilism is that nihilism says that all of this shit that you're doing, you might as well just stop because it doesn't matter. But optimistic nihilism says that you might as well keep doing this and keep doing things and give your daily life a purpose, so that your one shot of life, you're not just living in dread, living sad.
Absolutely. See now, Meg, I'm so Yuvansh, this is
Mm,
not what we questioned. This is not what Meg's question was. The question was, see, that's what I said. All of us are adding meaning to our lives, optimistic
mm,
nihilism or nihilist or not. That's not what the question was. The question was that uh, it gives you a certain a certain reason of satisfaction when optimistic nihilist I'm
yeah,
talking. That the life has no meaning in the bigger picture. That's why I should not dwell on my failures. It doesn't matter what I've done now. I'm
yeah.
just going to do what makes me feel happy. The question what we're asking is, since that was already being professed without the idea of uh, the life not having a meaning, why does that singular line of life having meaning add not having meaning? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
add this additional happiness to you,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's not something different from what we've already said.
So
It's
here,
Yeah.
this is where Ivanch, I
Because
have a question for you.
it gives me a slight sense of carelessness.
Okay,
It
okay.
gives
So
me
Ivanch, listen. So that when you talk about, so how you said that you've accepted certain social values and certain social norms that have,
not certain, pretty much everything.
okay, everything, but you also believe that the universe has no meaning.
Yeah.
And so if you felt, if there was certain proved
Mm,
evidence that there is a certain purpose to the universe, this
yeah.
is the meaning of the universe, would it affect how you act?
Yeah, I would definitely change the philosophy then. I would definitely change how I apply myself. I would still strive to be happy and achieve my goals, but at the same time, I would be like, okay, now we found our purpose. Fair enough. I can't do anything about it. I can't change it. That
No,
my
no,
purpose
but
in
again,
life.
I'm just talking about like the universe. Like this is so right now we don't
Yeah,
know why the universe was created. What's the purpose of all of this? And so
yeah.
that gives you a certain happiness because the universe has no meaning. I'm just
Mhm.
going to give my life a certain purpose, right?
It gives me a sense of caringness, that if I might as well do it, like YOLO, you only live
But
once.
even if there was somebody came and gave you
Exact.
this book that this is the meaning of the universe, this is how the universe was created, this is why it was created,
Mhm.
it's still not going to affect
You
you.
still only live once. You
You
still
still
only
only
live
live
once.
once.
Yeah.
You're still going to
So
do
I'm
things that
not
make you
denying
happy.
that I believe that we will never find that purpose. That is the only thing that is differentiating you.
Again,
Y'all
I don't
believe
think
that
you answered the
Whether we
question.
find
no,
a
I understood. I very well understood the question that you were saying that tomorrow, if we find a meaning for the entire existence of the universe, how will that affect your happiness and how will it affect your
No,
philosophy?
no. Again, this is not the question.
I'm
The
just
fun.
talking about the
The question.
universe and you. Like, so here we were talking about how the universe
Yeah,
has no meaning, and
yeah,
you said that you are so insignificant, tiny, doesn't matter to the universe, doesn't impact the universe. Even
yeah.
if there was a purpose to the universe, which I am sure of that there is a purpose, in your
Hmm.
mind, you still have no impact on the universe. You're not going to act differently, whether or not there is certain evidence provided to you that this is the
Yeah,
purpose of the
I'm
universe.
not. I'm gonna move on with my life. I'm
Then
gonna still
what's
do
the whole
whatever it
point
does.
of it? What's the whole point of believing in something when it's not going to change how you act or think?
But that's what. So exactly, you're agreeing with optimistic nihilism. Then you're right now. You're agreeing with that.
No,
You're
she
saying that
didn't. One
me.
second. I don't
No,
think
no,
you
no.
heard her
Wait.
completely. One second,
No, I
Meg. Okay, if
completely
I were to
heard
give
her.
you
Wait,
no,
I
one second,
completely
one
heard her.
second.
Let me
I'm
finish.
not
Let me
trying to.
finish.
Let me just sum
I
it up
com.
1 second
Okay,
for
go
you
on. Go
all.
on.
For both of you all. See, I'm very neutral. Meg believes that there's a complete purpose. Yuvansh doesn't. I'm not sure. So if I would just
Mm,
give both sides of it, she's saying, which I agree with. The question is,
mm,
no matter how microscopic the chances of human civilization surviving, or however microscopic their
mm.
identity may be in the time lapse of the universe, you
Yeah.
believe that it doesn't matter. Hence, I should completely continue to go on with whatever I do. But uh, us believing that there is a meaning, we still continue to believe the same thing that you do, that we should go on and do whatever we feel. And
Yeah.
you're just adding that singular
Same.
clause to your life, that
Yeah.
life doesn't have meaning, which is why I should do whatever I can do at the most to make myself feel happy, or it gives me a sense of caringness, and I shouldn't dwell on my past. But non-optimistic nihilists also believe the exact same thing. So why
No, they don't
my
believe the
question to
exact
y'all
same
is,
thing. Like y'all just said that y'all don't believe the same exact thing. Y'all believe that the
no,
universe
no, no,
has a
no, no.
purpose.
Okay, no, hear me out. I don't think you're
Yeah.
here. I think you're getting a little defensive. We're not trying to target you here. This is the points I'm trying telling us that all of us agree with. Okay, that
Yeah.
we should do whatever makes us feel, at least the most that we can do to make us feel happy,
Mm,
and whatever we should do, whatever makes us feel well,
yeah.
and we should accept social, and all of us should accept whatever certain social standards that have been set for humanity to exist. This is what you also
Yeah.
agree with, right? So
Mm-hmm.
which is what the thing is, you are living the exact same in the superficially, I'm talking, you live the exact same life that
Yeah.
we do.
Mm-hmm.
You're all just living under this one cloud that life has no meaning, but you
Yeah.
all
That's the
don't
only difference.
And
but
that's why
then what is that
it's
how is it
a certain
how is it so different from us? How is it so different from us? It's only
Because
adding a negative aspect to your lives.
yeah,
adding not
but
even
I
like
strongly believe in the
not
negative
even
aspect.
negative. See, I'm not even saying that
See,
it's
that's
negative
what I'm
or
saying. I'm
positive.
living the same life as you all. I have accepted everything socially. I've accepted everything morally. I've accepted
At least
everything
I feel like
ethically.
adding that
Let me
statement,
finish. Yeah, I feel because I believe that statement is
I feel
true.
like it gives you a
I'm
sense
not
of
changed.
control.
It gives me a certain sense of cariness sometimes. That like y'all said, and y'all are also doing that. But I feel like that cariness, that like there's a certain existential crisis, and I believe this philosophy solves that by saying that hey, okay, whatever y'all do, it does not have meaning, so I will do whatever you want, and which y'all are following as well to a certain extent, superficially, like you said.
Mhm.
And the only thing that separates me from y'all is that I am also living the same life as y'all are, but the thing that separates me is that I believe that we will never find a whole existence of us, or a whole reason for our existence. I'm not saying that I am living differently than y'all. I feel that that philosophy gives me a little more happiness, and it gives me a sense of existence of myself. I'm not saying
Again,
that it gives me
I,
more happiness or
I
it gives
think
me
I guess this is
less
where I think
sadness.
this is where we have to call it,
Yeah, so
quits in a
I
way,
feel
because I
like
think
what we can
neither of us are
all three of our perspectives is that whether or not the universe has a meaning, or that it
Yeah,
does, whether it has a purpose or whether it doesn't have a purpose, the bottom line is that you need to give your own life a purpose. By making, whether it's by making yourself happy or by just giving it a certain meaning very subjectively. I feel like that's what it is, right? Something that
yeah,
motivates you, something that you want to wake up to,
yeah.
something that you want to live up to, or something you want to embrace.
Mhm.
That's what the basis of life is for us, right?
So that is basically hedonism. Y'all are saying that y'all follow hedonism.
no, arey yaar,
Okay, let's
Yuvansh,
not.
where are
Okay,
you throwing? Don't throw philosophical terms which we have not agreed to. Hedonism follows that you should. Meg's first statement was that you cannot follow everything. Because if you people don't know what
Uh,
hedonism stands for, hedonism is that you should do whatever makes you feel happy, and which is why me and Meg constantly said we should do as much as we can to make us feel happy. Because like she said, maids cannot do extremely. Like I cannot go outside tomorrow and do
That's
whatever I feel
it's
makes me feel happy.
like a tiny example and like such a big pyramid of like things that people
mm.
can't do to make themselves happy. So
So
I
we
feel
never
like
called ourselves hedonists in any
No,
way. We
I'm
just
not
talk,
saying that. I'm just saying that it kind of follows that. I'm not calling you all hedonist. I'm
but
just
then
saying that it
so does
kind of follows
optimistic
it.
nihilism then. Okay, but then
Yeah,
okay,
of
we're
course,
getting into a
optimism.
separate debate again.
we
No, but
We
optimism.
need to
That's what
wrap
I'm
this
saying.
up.
I
so
explained the difference of optimistic nihilism and hedonism to you also. Was that hedonism only says that embrace life and be happy, whatever. But optimistic nihilism says embrace life, be happy. But the universe has the meaning, so you give yourself meaning.
Yeah.
Hedonism
Okay.
end,
Yeah. Fair
the
enough.
end.
I think.
So to end this whole thing, so I
Yeah.
think we all can agree
Wait,
that
that's time.
in life, no, there is no time. So in the end, we can agree that at least do what makes you happy, but I feel like try to do what makes you happy as much as you can, so that you have something to wake up to every day. Whether or not it affects the bigger picture, whether or not it affects the universe, focus on your life. Like, focus on things that you have control over. I feel like that's what we have learned from all of this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And can I just like say the last thing? Last thing, that's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like I was thinking about it now, and like y'all said that we've been told all our lives that don't dwell on the past and don't do this because y'all can't change it. And so, what's new to this philosophy?
Hmm.
Y'all were never told that don't. It's not easy to just not dwell on the past. It's not easy. कि अरे मैंने नहीं ये किया मैं भूल जाऊंगा. It's खत्म.
Yeah, so we never said that it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's not that. But I believe that this philosophy makes it a little bit easier for me.
I mean, if it helps you go
Yeah,
ahead
this
in life,
philosophy
then
makes it a little
definitely it should
easier for me to
definitely
not dwell on the past.
Mhm.
Like it helps me to forget what I might have done wrong or things that have been done to me or whatever. It helps me with that. And I feel like this philosophy and what y'all have been told is that one of the things that differs from it.
Okay, but in the end, I feel like the whole purpose of life,
We, yeah.
whether it's like believing in optimistic nihilism alone, hedonism, whatever, is just to stick to a theory or whatever that fits your description of life. Correct?
Whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you wake up every day and do whatever you want to. That is your
Well,
thing.
we have 1 minute left, so I'm going to end this here. And so thank you to
Yeah,
everyone who reached the end of this. And
yeah.
we will be
And also
back.
And
like leave down in the comments.
comment what you all
Leave,
think. Comment what you all
yeah.
think.
Whatever you're
It'll
Your
be
and what
it'll be
you
really
believe.
cool to listen to other opinions and all that stuff.
and please, if you appreciate it, like the video, and we would love if you would subscribe to our channel as
Yeah,
well.
and we would love feedback. Anything.
And we will be back with episode 3 of Brown Syndrome next Saturday. Bye, guys.
Thank you guys. See ya.
Bye.